Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. Today on Bones Collector I'm going to do another top 10 list that's kind of related to the one I just did a few days ago about deluxified games. It's wonderful to play those deluxified editions, isn't it? They're fun because of the pieces that you get to touch, the way they look on the table, and people are fascinated by them, and myself included. But there is also games that come in retail form that have wonderful production, and so I'm doing a top 10 list of retail top productions in board games that are in my library. And those games are just as fun. I mean, just because they're not called deluxified or they're not special edition doesn't mean anything. They're still wonderful games, and a lot of publishers are stepping up their game in board game publishing so that their games are kind of deluxified without calling it that, if you get my drift. So I want to touch on a couple of publishers that are doing a great job, and there's a lot of them. I'm not going to hit all of them, but I just want to talk about a couple. And the first publisher is Days of Wonder. Now, Days of Wonder has been making games for quite a while, and they were doing a nice job with board game publishing well before it became a thing. And the games that I have in my library by Days of Wonder are these three: Yamatai, Relic Runners, and Quadropolis. And we also had Five Tribes. Was there anything else that we had by them? Geez, I can't. I think that's all we had by Days of Wonder. But what I want to say about them is they all have inserts in them that hold the pieces in place, and the pieces that are in the game are fabulous. The boards themselves, and things like in Relic Runners, the relics are just gorgeous. The skulls with the painted eyes, and I mean, I just love the job that they've done over the years, and I appreciate them for making these available in a retail form. There were not any deluxified versions of these particular games, and it's wonderful for everyone to be able to get the best product and have it be available to them rather than some Kickstarter deluxified thing. It's only available to people who use Kickstarter. It's nice that these games, you can buy them, set them up and play them, and they're wonderful in their production. Their presentation has a nice insert. They're just well done publishing job by Days of Wonder, and I just wanted to applaud them for that. Also want to applaud Stonemaier Games, because Stonemaier Games, you know, Scythe and Wingspan, Tapestry, thank you. Come to mind. What's that? Viticulture. Just Stonemaier Games does a wonderful job with their publishing also. And you can, when you buy a copy of Scythe, just a retail copy, it's fabulous. It's well done. It looks great on the table. You get the feel of that whole world that Scythe takes you into just in the retail copy. So my hat's off to both those publishers. And there's a lot of publishers that are doing a better job at just regular retail editions, Capstone Games and Alley Cat Games and Thundergriff and I don't know who else comes to mind. Plaid Hat. I mean, just people are stepping up their game, and I would suggest to you, and I do more of this now myself, is to buy retail editions of games. You know, wait for one that the game is fabulous and that you like the way it looks and you feel like it's been published properly, and you know, make that purchase. You don't have to get on Kickstarter to get great looking games, and I guess that's one of the points I want to make today. Okay, I'm going to talk about 10 games that the retail editions were absolutely fabulous. And the first one I'm going to talk about is King Domino XL. King Domino Giant, King Domino XL. It's by Bruno Cathala, and this won the Spiel des Jahres, I believe. This is a 2 to 4 player game, and you can play King Domino in 15 minutes. Games don't have to be a big affair in order to be good. This game is so much fun. Lori and I keep this in our library for times when we don't want to have a lot of time taken up playing a game. We've been waiting on an Uber to go to the airport, and we'll get out King Domino and play it. And this particular edition is one that we absolutely are in love with, and the reason why, one of the biggest reasons why, is the tiles that are in this game. And this is what the inside package looks like. And the tiles that are in this game are absolutely fabulous, and they have cute art on them. And in the regular edition, it's so small, the tiles are so small you can't appreciate it really. There's some cute things going on these tiles. And when you're playing this game in the Giant edition, you pay attention to that. And so we really just got more out of the game. It just makes a difference. And this is available. I've seen it on the Geek Market for sale, and you can get this game. was readily available for a long time. I hope that if you were interested in it, that you picked up a copy. But I mean, the tiles are absolutely beautiful in this game. There's just no other way to describe the difference. The regular edition was so much smaller than this. The tiles were so tiny that you just didn't get to appreciate the art that was on them. Just some cool stuff going on these tiles. Just, it's just amazing. Of course, the back has numbers on it. So the tiles are just absolutely fabulous. And again, you can see these guys cutting wood and doing things. Some of the sheep are doing crazy stuff out in the field, and it's easier to appreciate it because you can see it better. And so we really love this edition. Now, in addition to the tiles being large, you also have these beautiful meeples that are, you know, so much bigger than the ones in the regular game, and that game is fine. If you play King Dom in that little version, hey, it's 20 bucks and it's a great game. It's the same game. It's a more in-depth and immersive situation in this particular edition, and we've really enjoyed that. Your beginning castle here is quite large, and I don't know, when I saw this game and I decided, you know what, I think I would like to get that. And when we did, I hadn't even thought about the difference in being able to view the art, but we bought it and played it, and I said, hey, did you notice on this, I mean, is that tile in our regular game? And it was. But you just don't notice it because it's small and you don't focus on it when you're playing a game. But man, this is so fabulous to be able to play it like this. I love this edition of King Domino. It's one that we will keep forever in our library for so many reasons. It's easy to play, and there's people that are just way too smart to play this game, but we're not way too smart to play this game. We really, really enjoy this game. And it's King Domino XL, or King Domino Giant, whichever you want to call it, by Bruno Cathala, and he's one of our favorite designers, so yeah, what a great game. Okay, that's number 10. Number 9 is a Kramer and Kiesling game called Renature. Renature is a domino game. Domino meets tile laying, meets area control, and I saw this game played on YouTube when it first came out. They were introducing it, and I told Lori, I want that game, and I'm glad I did. It's by Capstone Games. They did a fabulous job with the production. Oh, by the way, that was Blue Orange Games that did King Domino XL, so hey, hats off to them. But this is Renature by Capstone Games. Wonderful thick box. Everything in this game, all the publishing is absolutely fantastic. The board itself is beautiful. It even has a picture printed on the back that I'm going to open up, and show you. And just small touches like that make all the difference in the world. That's the back of the board, you know, rather than just a black mat. And then this is the front of the board that you're going to play on. So those things are, I mean, it's worth going the extra mile. Publishers and Capstone Games, thank you for doing so. And then in this game itself, you got these beautiful wood dominoes that you're going to lay on that board, surround those specific brown areas, and you win the point tile that's in that particular area. And in addition to that, you have a player board in your area. You're going to have these beautiful wooden pieces on your player board, and you're going to use those and put in those areas to control those areas. And you not only use the ones for your player color, but there's neutrals that come into play also that you can play in there to nullify a little bit of that area control. It's such a great game. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to have it. There's animals on the dominoes, bats and a turtle and a butterfly and a bird and a lizard, a frog, and you have to play, you know, frog against a frog, lizard against a lizard, and so you're kind of tied up with how you can play those dominoes. But on the board itself, it has a mechanic in it where you can actually change and make one of the animals wild, so that you can play that anywhere, and that's pretty cool too. I don't know, I can't say enough about this game. It's in my top 20 or 30 games of all time, and I believe this to be one of Kramer and Kiesling's best efforts, and I hope you've had the opportunity to play it. It will not be for everyone because a lot of people don't like area control. A lot of people don't like dominoes, you know, but I like both those things, and in this game in particular, they're absolutely fabulous. And this says right here in the middle of this, simply complex, and that's what Renature is. Simple rule set, but the decisions that you make are interesting and complex, and I love that in board gaming. And you can play this game in an hour. Just absolutely fabulous. Yeah, that's Renature. I love that game. Favorite board game designers of mine ever. Kramer and Kiesling. All right. That was 9. This is 8. Number 8. My hat's off to Whiz Kids for Mage Knight. I mean, everything about this package I adore. As a matter of fact, I love the art on this cover so much that I keep it on display in my living room in the house. I have a suspended shelf and I have some board gaming items on it, and this game sits there because the art is just, this is one of my favorite all-time board game box lids. I just love the looks of that thing. It makes me want to play. Just looking at it. Just looking at the lid. I want to play this game. It's absolutely fabulous. And the package inside is no different. A wonderful thick box, very nicely done. And I kept this game over Gloomhaven, I can tell you. And here's 2 reasons why. Number 1, the minis in it are painted. Because painting minis is a separate hobby from board gaming. I play board games, I don't paint minis. So the publisher that paints the minis for me, I'm going to give you praise and give you all the attention that I can on this channel or whenever I can with other board gamers. And I just love the fact that those come painted. It's more immersive. I don't want to play my board games in black and white. I like them to be in color, which however you choose to do that, whether it's standees in color or acrylic standees or painted minis, but I like my board games to be in color. And then this has an insert to hold everything, as you can see. I bought this game for $25 at a flea market. It had the cards and the tokens hadn't even been opened. And he had just taken the shrink off the box. So 25 bucks. And I love also the mana dice in this game as opposed to Gloomhaven. So I like the painted minis. I love the mana dice. And I also love the fact that there's art on the cards. In Gloomhaven, there is no art on the cards, and I can't stand that. I just love this game. I have one major bone to pick with Mage Knight, and that has to do with the rule book. Not that it's hard to understand, because they do a nice job explaining the game, in my opinion. But the font in this game, these rule books are so small. I literally have to wear a magnifying glass around my neck when I was learning this game to read these books. And I know whoever made that decision at WizKids, that was the only bad decision made.
They must have good eyesight.
Yeah, in this publishing job. Otherwise, the publishing was absolutely fantastic, but these rule books need to be reprinted. I would pay for some, you know, if WizKids reprinted these rule books with a large font, I would pay extra to get my hands on them so that I don't have to put that magnifying glass around my neck and try to read the font in this rule book. It's just too small, way too small. Other than that, a fabulous package. I love Mage Knight. Again, it's my favorite fantasy adventure board game. Big fantasy. I mean, there's some other fantasy adventure board games that I like a lot, but this, as far as, and I'm talking about if you compare this to like Dungeon Alliance and Gloomhaven and Bard Sung and some of those great big games with all the miniatures and so forth, I still prefer Mage Knight over any of them. Vallada Chavato, he's a great board game designer, very eclectic in his designs, because he has code names, and Tash Kalar, his games are all so different, but one of his masterpieces is definitely Mage Knight. Yeah, that was number 8. So number 7, I love taking the opportunity to talk about these retail games. Number 7 is a game by Luke Laurie and Tom Jolly called Manhattan Project Energy Empire. This game came out in 2016. 1 to 5 players, so it has a solo variant, and we can play it in an hour. And it is a game that is kind of similar to CO2 Second Chance in the same subject matter, same theme. And we had CO2 Second Chance, which was a brain burner. That was a very difficult cooperative game to play, and we played it cooperatively. You don't have to, but we did, and that was a really hard game. But we decided to move that game on just because it was hard to get to the table. Well, fabulous game, though.
2 hours to play usually. Maybe.
Fabulous game, yeah. And you worked so hard in that game intellectually. You did not want to lose. You were like, I mean, yeah. I'm not going to talk about it. We're talking about Manhattan Project Energy Empire. Luke Laurie did, what's the game?
Dwellings of Eldervale.
Yeah, Dwellings of Eldervale. And he used some of the similar mechanic in that, where you place a worker and bring a worker back type of thing, and you get to do an action when you bring the worker back. But Energy Empire is about pollution, and nice box. Comes in nice thick box. Rule book is very good. When you read this rule book, look how large the font is in that. Very nice. Nicely done. This publisher is Minion Games. So very cool. And in this game you get these beautiful sculpted dice, I love that about it. You get, this is a retail copy. Look at this. These are the iron pieces and the steel, and then the plastic thing, and the tokens themselves, very thick. Card stocks, very nice. The art on the cards is absolutely fabulous. Then your worker tokens, those are nuclear and regular pollution. And then these oil barrels that you get are metal. These are metal. I mean, it's a retail copy. It's crazy. The money is cardboard, which is fine with me. I mean, the rest of this game is absolutely fabulous. The board is beautiful. These are player boards. They're kind of paper, but that's okay. I mean, the rest of the game and publishing is absolutely fabulous. That was our new kitten, Gravy. We have a couple of new kittens, Biscuits and Gravy. Biscuits is a female, Gravy is a male, and so they might be walking through there. We've had them for a month now, and they're still kind of curious about life around our place, so yeah. But anyways, the game is absolutely a fabulous game, and I don't think it gets talked about enough because new games always take the spotlight, and people forget about how the new games came to be. In 2016, this is definitely in the top 10 games of that year, maybe top 5. In my particular list, in my particular taste, this would have been probably top 3 in 2016. Absolutely fabulous game. I love playing it. The theme is absolutely amazing because you're just trying to squash, you become the nation that has doing the best job at stopping pollution, and just an incredible production for this game, for a retail copy that you can just go out and buy. And when you play a game like this that has a publishing job like that, it's just so much more fun and so much more immersive. And I bought this when it first came out, and I love it every time we get it to the table. That was number 7. All right, number 6 is a newer game, even though I usually bash newer games, but this one is called Trekking Through History by Charlie Binks, and the publisher Underdog Games. 2 to 4 players, and we play this in 45 minutes. Everything about this game is magnificent, and Charlie Binks has done, the designer of this game, has done 2 other games, National Parks, Trekking National Parks, and Trekking the Globe, or Trekking the World. Mm-hmm. Trekking the World, and those were fabulously.
The production of those was amazing.
Published also. This one's off the charts. Just everything about it's beautiful. It's a family weight game, which some people just hate that term.
The box is,
The box is nice and thick. I don't know, man. This game is fabulous. And you can get a history lesson in this game, which is something else that you can consider. Now, this card tells you what years are in each day. You're going to play 3 days in this game. This is the time wheel, and you'll have a marker on here, and everything you do costs you time. You got to complete these things to get extra points in the game. You get a tray with the tokens, nice chunky tokens that you're going to use in the game. Look how everything fits in the. I mean, come on now, are you serious, dudes? You don't own this game? This game's not in your library? It's absolutely fabulous. It looks great on the table, and it's a good game. It's a good game design, and it has a neoprene mat for a board that fits in the box. Hello, all you other publishers. My Viceroy mat fits in the box. This fits in the box in this game. I have a linen board that fits in Mandala, a little tiny 2-player only game. I mean, hey publishers, get your mats in the box, however you have to do it. But man, the cards in this game are linen card stock. Look at that. And you're trying to put these in chronological order during the game, and every one of them has text on the back telling you about that event. So it just adds to the immersiveness of this game. It's absolutely fabulous, man. I'm telling you, if you don't have this game in your library, you're missing out. It's an excellent game. Everybody I've played it with, from hardcore gamers to new people, enjoy this game to the max because of not only that it's a good game, but it's published well. And gosh, I just can't say enough about it. What a great effort by Underdog Games. And I wanted to take a second and talk about that. Trekking Through History. Wow, fabulous, fabulous game. That was number 7. And this just came out like last year or the year before. I don't know. It's a pretty new game. So this is number, I think 6. Let's go with 6.
I don't know.
Excuse me. But this game is called Era Medieval Age by Matt Laycock, and it is a re-implementation of Roll Through the Ages, the Bronze Age, that Matt Laycock did. It was one of the few roll and write games I ever kept because the publishing of that game was fantastic. It had these big wooden dice that were screen printed, and it had wooden pegboards. I mean, that was a nicely published game for roll and write. I dislike roll and write games. They just bore me to tears. The only roll and write games I ever liked were Quicks, which I still love because that makes sense to me. You know, Quicks, roll and write. Hey, it's quick, it's easy. I don't know. It's just I love it, and I love that Roll Through the Ages. But I eventually sold that on because I picked this up. This is a linen finish box. Oh, it's lovely, you guys. If you haven't played, this is by Eggert Spiel as the publisher. I hope I don't neglect telling you guys the name of the publishers. Nice box that they put this game in. There's your rule book. And I do have the expansion in here. I bought this game used at a flea market. And someone asked me in one of the comments, what's a VFM? Because I make reference to that all the time. It's a virtual flea market. And when you go to a convention, before that convention, usually a month and a half before it, they may have a virtual flea market where you can buy and sell games. And
Online.
yeah, online. I mean, well, that's what
But
virtual
you're
means.
meet in person.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A virtual flea market is something that's virtual. So you're going to do it online on your computer or your telephone and buy games and sell games before the actual convention. Then when you go to the convention, you're going to meet up with those people and make those business transactions. And that's what we did here. And then also at the convention, there's usually a physical flea market one day where people can rent tables and sell games used. And that's a great way, a great resource. Both those are great resources for you to build your board game library in an inexpensive fashion. So I got this game with the expansion that was made for this game for $50. It was a good deal. You know, I really was appreciative.
There's a lot in that box.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is so full. There's so much in this box, I can barely get the lid on. Beautiful, sculpted, engraved dice in this game. And these player boards are fantastic. You know, the buildings that you're going to put on them go right in these peg holes. And I just can't say enough about how much I love this game, because after playing Foundations of Rome, which I like a lot, but this is a better game. Now, if these guys had maybe made these about 30% bigger and the buildings about 30% bigger and painted them, nobody would be playing Foundations of Rome. You'd be playing this game, and because it is a better game. I absolutely adore this game. And hopefully you can see in there all those different buildings that you're going to use in the games themselves. And the game is played like you're going to put those buildings in certain patterns on the board in order to score them certain ways. And you have city walls that you're going to put around them, and in order for it to score them, they have to be inside the city walls, and farms that have to be outside the city walls, I think, and they have to be a certain spaces away from each other. So there's all these stipulations about where you place those buildings, and then you use these dice also to determine the type of actions that you're going to take. And I love this game. I'm so happy to have gotten this, because I watched it after it came out and thought to myself, wait a minute, you know, I did like that little roll and write, Roll Through the Ages, didn't we? We played it.
Well, we
quite
had
a
it
bit.
up until we bought this one. We kept
And
it.
we really, really liked it. And this is a re-implementation of that, except you actually get to physically do what the roll and write didn't let you do.
Marking off on the board. Yeah.
You're just marking stuff off on a roll and write on a pad of paper. To me, it's just too much like school. And I liked school, but I didn't like school work. I like the social aspect of school. My friends and going to the football game or doing, you know, whatever, band or, you know, the things that school had to do with. But I feel like I'm in school when I'm doing a roll and write, and that's just not for me. And so Lori's subjected to my bias. So she never gets to play roll and writes because of me. And I don't miss them, and there's nothing that I would, you know, again, the Roll Through the Ages, no comparison to Era, Medieval Age. This is absolutely a fabulous.
It was a lot of fun, though. I liked it.
Yeah, I did too, and that's what got us hooked up on this game. And I just love this game. It's so immersive and so much fun. It has a solo variant. We can play this game in 45 minutes. You're rolling those dice, building that village. I mean, you're touching the stuff. You're rolling right, you're just checking it off. But you're actually building this, and they can do more with this type of package than they can with a roll and write. So hey, That is a great game. That's Matt Laycock, the creator of course, Pandemic, my #1 game of all time, and Forbidden Desert. That's it. Yeah, Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island. Okay, that's number 5. Is it 5? Okay, so this is number 4. And this is Dice Throne, Season 1 Rerolled. And you can get Dice Throne in different, I think there's a Season 1, Season 2, Season 1 Rerolled. Marvel Dice Throne now. And, I mean, wow.
You can buy them in 2 packs.
Yeah, this is an indescribable production by whoever this is. Roxley Games. Wow. I mean, 2 to 6 players, 30 minutes. That's cool, isn't it? It's Battle Yahtzee.
Yeah.
You know, if the guy that created Yahtzee had thought of this, he'd be richer than Elon Musk. Yeah. But, I mean, look at the size of this box. And in this box, you can see a place for each tray by the character. And that way you know where that's at in this box. And then you pull this out, and in here is a certain character that you're going to use in battle. And this is the Shadow Thief. And his board folds out like that. The Shadow Thief, see that? How beautiful that is? And that's the player board you're going to use. And then in here, it has a sheet that gives you like a FAQ on the back on how to use this character. And the card stock is all linen. These guys knew what they were doing, man. I'm telling you what. A couple of counters in here for your health and combat points. And your tokens that you're going to use for that character. Some beautiful engraved dice in each character, different colors for every character. Absolutely fun time to play this game. A little battler, and I'm not a person that likes fighting games per se, but this game goes so quick and it's a lot of fun to play. And one of the reasons is that you are defending also, so you aren't sitting when someone's attacking you. You're going to roll your dice and defend, and I like that about this game. But hey, I can't tell you enough about, or say enough about the publishing of this game. The other thing I want to mention, and I, all right,
He's playing in the
Gravy's over here playing in my case of water, and it's got plastic all over it, and he's, get out of here.
He's making noise. Look at this.
Oh yeah, I know, right. Well, spin her around.
Oh, I can't. She's gonna get out.
Yeah. This is biscuits.
He's not gonna stay there.
So anyways, yeah, these minis are lovely, and they do nothing in this game. They do nothing, but I love them anyways. These are the characters that are in Season 1 Rerolled, and I bought the mini package, and it's $40, and all you do is you're going to take that mini of that character and sit it on your player board. But they are fantastic. We get them out and use them when we play. And we're going to put that character on our player board, and that's the way it's going to be. That's the person we're going to be, and we really enjoy that. And you can buy minis for each season. So Season 2 has its set of minis also.
I think there's a Dice Throne Adventures game that do use the mini.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I think
that's biscuits. Hot biscuits.
Yeah, that's little biscuits.
That's my new little biscuits. Biscuits and gravy. And she's a little sweetheart. Yeah, we're going to give cats another try. Hopefully these guys stay healthy for us. And but they're lovely and lots of fun kittens. Okay, but Dice Throw, man. I think this was $99, and I think the minis were $40. So, I mean, there's just some expense there, but man, when you're playing this game, people are looking, and you're immersed in it because of that production that the publisher put into the game. You're really into it. The dice are beautiful. You're chucking those dice and playing those cards, and everything about it's fun. Okay, that was number 4. This is number 3, and this is a brand new game for 2023 called Hickory Dickory. I was just impressed, and again, when I talk about publishers stepping up their game, this is an example of that. This is plays 1 to 4. You can play it in an hour, and it has a beautiful clock in it. This is by Plaid Hat Games, and the board is a clock, and you're actually going to put your mice. Is everybody mice?
Yes.
You're going to put your mice on the clock hands, and similar to Colors of Paris, similar to Colors of Paris, where you have that action wheel. This is the same thing, except the wheel's still, and you're on the arms of the clock. So it's very similar to that. And so you're making decisions about where you want your mice to get off. And because it was implemented like that, it's just cute as the dickens, and it's beautiful on the table. I mean, it's well done. Sawyer West.
And the game is fun.
The game is absolutely fun. It's called a Royal Scavenger Hunt. Oh, what is his issue? And a game by Sawyer West. Sawyer, I thank Sawyer for a wonderful game. And all these games I'm showing you, I keep. And so I'm very thankful to the board game designers and publishers for these games. I hope I come through with that appreciation, because I really love it. And Sawyer, I really love your game. I think your game is absolutely fabulous. There's the big clock. I'm not going to unfold it for you.
It looks like a kid's game, and it's not.
Yeah, and then you have these dual layer player boards that come in it, and these acrylic tiles that you're going to collect and put on here, and the card stock is beautiful. I mean, everything about this game is well done. And so you can just go out and buy this game and have a wonderful, sexy looking game on the table, and that's always cool. You know, when people are like, wow, they'll walk by your table when you're playing and they'll say, how is that game? And you get to say, yeah, this game is absolutely a hoot. And that always makes you feel good, especially when you are trying to find games to keep in your library. All the pieces in it are wooden. You have different kinds of mice that are going to have different powers and the way they move, and then you get this big draw bag, and you can hear those acrylic tiles that you're going to collect, and you have oh man, these, I mean, come on now, this is a retail production, and this is what I'm talking about. You don't have to buy deluxified games, you know, specifically deluxified. You can, if you look around. What is this? Get out, dude! You are making so much noise, it's ridiculous.
You get back in there. Get out there, come on, come on.
And then, you know, like a grandfather clock, it has this one sideboard that goes near the clock. Can I show it?
Get up there and make trouble.
Yeah. I don't think, it's on the back, but it has one of those things where the weights, these are weights, and they go up and down, and so your mouse is going to travel up and down, and I don't know. I mean, I can't say enough about it when publishers go well beyond. This game is, if you don't have this game, you don't know what you're missing. It's a bunch of fun. It's going to be in my top 10 for sure. I mean, I'm calling it like Babe Ruth. I mean, this was a home run. The publisher did a great job. Sawyer West did a great job in his design, and I really, oh, there's that, and the weight goes up and down, so that's pretty cool. I just really enjoy this game. We got it home, played it once, and just couldn't stop playing it. I think we played it 4 or 5 times in a row. It was just absolutely fabulous. And let's see, Hickory Dickory, like that. Beautiful box lid. Plaid Hat Games, man. They stepped up their game. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at the back of that. If I can hold that up there long enough for you to get a good picture about what the game looks like if you haven't seen it.
Come on.
Man, just a wonderfully fun game.
Come on, over here.
And it's a thinker. I mean, you got some interesting choices to make. That's number 3.
Yep.
Okay, this is number 2. And I want to mention the publisher for this game, who is Eagle Griffin, and they do all of Vita Lacerda's games right now. And if you are a gaming and hobby gamer and you know what I'm talking about, On Mars, Vinos, The Gallerist, Lisboa,
Escape Plan,
Weather
Machine.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on, and they all come in these big boxes. So I can't keep a lot of these games. Not to mention, Vita Lacerda's games are in depth, they're complex, and they take a little while to play. This is our favorite because of... Man, get out, cat. What is his deal? Maybe drag the water over there.
I'm going to. Come on, let's move on. It won't be quite so loud.
Kittens are really a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're glass.
So anyways, all of the games come in these big boxes, and they're very complex and long euros. We told ourselves we're only keeping one Vita Lacerda game, even though we like quite a few of them.
4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, but getting them to the table because of their length and so forth gets to be a challenge. And we said, hey, you know what? We're going to pick one. And because of our life history and our life experience with the auto shops in Michigan, we decided to keep Kanban EV. Of course, we had Kanban, the original version, and we played that and loved it. But when this package came out, it was a step in the right direction because, you know, it's an alternative fuel resource, and I think that's a good idea for the auto industry, and it's a good idea for the board game industry.
And we have an electric car.
And we have an electric car, and so we really enjoy this game. and it is beautiful on the table, isn't it, Lorena?
Oh, yeah.
Man, it is just absolutely fabulous. The artwork's by Ian O'Toole, one of the best artists in the industry, and this is just a retail copy, so you can get this game, I think, on Game Steward right now. I think they still have some. I mean, you know, this is just
That's just in there to keep the
keep the pieces in place.
Yeah.
That's the test track. I mean, everything in this box is just incredible. The board is beautiful. Oh man, I mean, oh, look at that thing. I hope I can put it away right. You can see everything in its place in there, and it's got this plastic lid that fits over top of it. But you got actual cars and stuff that are going to roll off the assembly line. You have to gather the parts and put the car together, get it to the assembly line, and then you have to be there at the right time to get those cars off the assembly line, because other people can take them. Even though you've completed them, you're like, okay, I'm planning. You're planning in your head.
Your coworkers.
Yeah, your coworkers.
They want to be better than you.
You're a foreman in this shop, and Sandra, the plant manager, is going to come around and evaluate you and stuff, and you can gain or lose points by her evaluations. So that's kind of cool too. But yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about this game. It's absolutely phenomenal, and Eagle Gryphon Games does a great job in all their games. I mean, the Gallerus was phenomenal. Venus Deluxe is absolutely fabulous, and what was some of the, Lisboa was fantastic. We enjoyed the heck out of Lisboa. But you know, this was the one that we chose to keep because we love the theme again of Kanban, of the auto industry, and it was fabulous in the way that they presented this game. It's an economic game, and you're running a factory. You're running an auto factory. I mean, I don't think there's another game out there as good as this for actually feeling like you're doing what the theme is, and that's running an auto factory to do things in the right fashion, to put things together, assemble them, and get them to market to sell. And it's absolutely an amazing board game design by Vita Lacerda. It is our favorite by Vita Lacerda. Absolutely, hands down. And I think if I had to choose a second one, it'd probably be maybe Lisboa, and then maybe the Gallerist. But this was absolutely our favorite, and that's why. And we didn't even. It wasn't even an argument, was it? We were like, which one are we going to keep? Because we had Escape Plan, we had Venus Deluxe, we had Gallerist, we had Lisboa, and we said, well, we can't keep all those games in our library.
They take up too much space.
Yeah, so
and they're too long.
I mean, we said, which one do you want to keep? We both said, well, it's Kanban EV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Wasn't a question.
Yeah. Okay, and my number one retail game is Tang Garden by Thundergriff Games. And this is 1 to 4 players. This has been out for a few years. The back of the box is 2019. And this game is absolutely beautiful, folks. When you play this game and it's on the table, people stop and look. It's a fabulous tile laying game, and you're actually going to put these the decorations. There's going to be trees, there's going to be bridges, and is that called, are they called pagodas?
I think so.
You have dual layer player boards. So you have a beautiful playing board that you're going to play on. And you can see these slots in the playing board, and you have these tiles. They're going to fit in those slots, and the tiles have icons on them. As you're going to place these on the board, you're going to place these little bridges on the board. You have trees that you're going to place on the board, but you're going to place little figurines in there, and they're going to face these tiles that you've placed in those slots around the board, and they have certain icons on them, and your characters will give you points for facing those icons. So you have character cards that you're going to have during the game that you acquire yourself during the game, and you're going to take those characters, and there's a little mini for each character. It's a hard decision because it gives you a special benefit, but once you place that character on the board, you can't use that guy no more. So it's a conundrum for you. When do I do that? It's a timing thing, and so you're going to have to decide when to put that character on the board to score points, rather than hang on to the benefit that's going to help you in the game. So, just a wonderful game publishing job by Thundergriff. I was fascinated the first time I saw it, and there is a deluxe version of this game, but you don't need to. This game is fabulous in this form right here. She likes to play it, but everything about it is so pretty when you're playing, and the 3D tiles that stick up in the board, and then you've got all those little decorations. Oh, geez, they're under the bridges here. Here's a couple of the characters of these guys.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, and they have different color stands on them, whatever. But I'd rather they were painted, because you have to take a second look. when you're digging through these of which is which.
Well, the stand colors match their cards,
Yeah.
so that helps a little bit.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. But it's a fabulous, fabulous game. Fabulous publishing job. It's in my top 100 games of all time, Tang Garden, and I really enjoy playing it. I really enjoy looking at it. I really enjoy telling people about it. I love this game, and it's one that we're going to keep for a long, long time, and I'm probably going to have to put this away later because I've messed it up.
It's really hard to get everything to fit in.
So we're just gonna do this and be done with the video. But hey, that's Tang Garden, and the designer should say his name, Francesco Testini and Pierluca Zizzi. Matus Mizak is the artist, because the art's beautiful in this game. This is a Zen game. It's so zen-y. It's so peaceful, and you're playing this game and just enjoying it, the beauty of it, and the mechanics in the game, and the decisions that you have to make are interesting and fun. And isn't that what board gaming is all about? Having a great time. I mean, so anyways, yeah, those are a bunch of retail games that you can go out and buy. You don't have to get on Kickstarter. You don't have to seek out deluxified copies. These are publishers that went above and beyond in their retail copies. And I hope that really in the board gaming industry that becomes the norm. These games should be available to everyone in their best form. And I really like that because it's a beautiful thing. Not just the gameplay itself, but you know, just looking at it while you're playing, and it's just so fascinating. For me, so much more satisfying than video games ever were. And when my kids were growing up, we had video game consoles. We had, because we got most of them for free because of what I was doing for a living, but I would bring them home and give them kids for Christmas, and they would play and play and play, and I would get on there and play Major League Baseball and watch the sun go down while I'm playing a whole season. I said, that's gotta go. But yeah, I mean, the nature of touching the pieces, moving them around, and conversing with the person you're playing with or persons, it's just so rewarding. And I hope that you find that also in your board gaming life. Thanks for watching this video. Oh, and I wanted to mention, well, our last video got like over 5,000 views. I don't know what happened. Maybe there's a board gaming genie or a board gaming angel out there for the Bones Collector, and we're only on YouTube. We don't do anything with any other format. So if you're watching our videos, you're watching us on YouTube, and that's all we're going to give an effort to because we're not getting paid. We're just sharing, and
we're old,
and we're not going to get into that kind of thing.
Technology is difficult for old people.
Like I say, we have other things we do. So we play a board game for 45 minutes, and then we'll go out to dinner, or we'll do some work around the house, or do watch a movie, different other things, read a book. We like to do that also. There's books that we love to read. So we don't want to spend a lot of time at the gaming table, and that's why the games that you hear us talk about generally play in that hour mark. There are exceptions like Kanban EV. It's a 90-minute game for the both of us, but willing to put it in that particular case. But I hope you enjoy our videos. We love presenting them to you, and we hope you are finding games that you like, that we tell you about. Nothing is more rewarding to us. So if you would like, please leave a comment at the end of the video, because we love hearing from you. And we just said the other day we're going to sit down and start answering some comments because we're getting backed up, even though we're only getting 250 views per video, but we're still getting comments from people that like to watch, and we appreciate you and we love you, and I hope that comes through in the way that we present ourselves. So, hey, we love every one of you. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet because of board games like this and board game designers like this that we talk about on this channel. So please like and subscribe, and we will see you the next time on the Bones Collector, and hopefully Biscuits and Gravy will introduce themselves over and over again in our videos, because we love these little kittens. They're so funny. They've brought a lot of joy to our life already. So we'll see you next time on the Bones Collector. Bye-bye.